If you're a real estate investor and you want people, private money lenders, to lend you their money, you can't just wing it. You need a system. It's not a guessing game. There are 6 steps I followed, tested and measured over the last 14 years, which I refer to as my trust ladder. And when you follow these 6 steps, it shows you exactly how to build rapport and trust with everyday people so that the minute you walk out your front door, you are building rapport and trust with prospective private money lenders all over the country. It does not matter where you live, and you're not raising money from friends and family members. In this video, I'm going to break down my 6 steps with you. What does that trust ladder begin with, and how do we end it so that they start to lend you their hard-earned dollars? I've been testing and measuring this trust ladder over the last 14 years in my own business, and my students have collectively raised well over $200 million in real private money when they implement the exact same system. By the way, none of my students, nor have I ever had to depend on our friends and family members for money. So if you're a real estate investor who feels stuck and you're tapped out on cash, you can't scale and you can't take on more than one project at a time, you can't diversify across multiple asset classes, then let's break down what this process looks like. The 6-step trust ladder is vital to our business because when we are raising private money, we truly have to believe that we are providing others with an amazing opportunity. And there are so many investors out there who feel like they're asking someone for a favor, they're begging for money, they have to depend on friends and family, they feel bad, or maybe they don't think the people in their network are in a position to lend. And so the 6-step trust ladder really, number one, begins with our mindset so that in a respectful way, we realize, hey, you're not doing us a favor by lending us $100,000. I'm doing you a favor by allowing you to invest with me, right? So I'm the polished professional poised for aggressive growth. I'm the one offering you double-digit returns backed by real estate. And the biggest mistake we make as real estate investors out there, new and experienced, is we go straight to the numbers. We are desperate. We've got a closing coming up. We're scrambling to try to secure 100% of the funding, and we crash and burn. The last thing we want to do is go straight to the numbers. If you do that, you will lose your audience. It doesn't matter how experienced this prospective private money lender is. And so you want to start by, number one, recognizing that the minute you walk out your front door, everyone you encounter is a prospective private money lender. So the 6-step trust ladder starts with the very first script, which is my 4-second power pitch. Step 1 for the rest of your life is my 4-second power pitch. Here's what it is. The 4-second power pitch is 13 words. I'm going to rattle off the 13 words, and then I'm going to show you how you want to use it moving forward. The 13 words are: I show people how to earn double-digit returns backed by real estate. Now pause. Let's not take those 13 words out of context. You're not going to go up to someone and be like, my name's Amy, and I show people how to earn double-digit returns backed by real estate. That's weird, right? Your tonality, the timing of your delivery matters. So what you're doing by implementing the 4-second power pitch, and I'll show you how to use it in a moment, is you're simply planting seeds 24/7 with anyone and everyone you encounter. The minute you walk out your front door, everyone you encounter is a prospective private money lenders. Some of you are introverts, some of you are extroverts. It does not matter. This is script 1 for the rest of your life, regardless of whether or not you have or have not raised private money. Because what I'm doing with this system is I'm showing you how to build rapport and trust through creative networking strategies you are going to weave and integrate into your day-to-day lifestyle. You're not going to sit behind a desk. You're not going to buy a list. You're not going to cold call. You're not going to launch a direct mail campaign. You're going to get out there and talk to people like you do every day anyways. So the next time you get into an Uber, for example, if your Uber doesn't ask you a bunch of questions, then you take the initiative to say, hey, it's so nice to meet you. What do you do outside of Uber? They're going to tell you what they do or don't do. And then the law of reciprocity will find its way back to you. They're going to ask you what you do, and that's it. You don't talk about how you hate your job or you're a brand new real estate investor. It doesn't matter. If you have experience, talk about how you invest in real estate in like 2 sentences. And then the last 13 words that come out of your mouth, whether you are new or experienced, is the 4-second power pitch. So, not a big deal. I'll use myself as an example. I've built a short-term rental portfolio in Austin, Texas and Phoenix, Arizona, and I currently renovate properties, primarily single-family homes in Austin, Texas and in San Diego. But what I love most is showing everyday people how they too can earn double-digit returns backed by real estate. Enough about me. How about you? What was it that you say you do again? But enough about that. What was your name again? It's so nice to meet you, right? So you rattle off those 13 words because now it's like, who says that, right? But you said it in a very humbling and respectful way so that 90% of the time, the person you say that to pumps the brakes and says, whoa, what? No, I don't want to go back to me. What do you mean by I show everyday people how to earn double-digit returns backed by real estate? Tell me more. Now, some of you will know what to say next. And those of you who are not as experienced may not know what comes next. That's okay. You're not going into a dissertation on why you are so amazing and why they should give you your money. The whole point, the call to action, is to get their phone number in a non-creepy way and follow up with them later. That's in the next 3 to 5 days. That's step 2 of the trust ladder. We'll get to that next. So the 4-second power pitch, step 1 for the rest of your life. You're going to say that to everyone and anyone you encounter. The takeaway is to plant seeds and get that person's phone number so you can follow up with more. You got their phone number. They want to know more. Now what do? You are going to call them and you are going to schedule a 30-minute Zoom. You're going to call them 3 to 5 days after you drop the 4-second power pitch. I don't care how much you like the person. The Zoom will not exceed 30 minutes. So you're going to call them and say, hey, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you. As promised, we're fulfilling on our promise. I'm giving you a call to just break down my process at a really high level. So in case you come across anyone who may be interested in investing, but really you're also targeting that person, right? You'll have more information. Plus, I also pay finder's fees. Again, more on that later. For now, do you have 30 minutes for a Zoom on Thursday or Friday? And then you just give them one of those 2 dates to choose from. You don't say, call me back when you're ready, or I'll circle back with you next week. Nope. As promised, 30 minutes, Thursday or Friday. So that's step 2. So step 3, you got them on your 30-minute Zoom. Now here's where you take them through a macro overview of 3 things. That's it. How many? 3. Still not going to numbers. We're not talking numbers at all. Number 1 is, who are you and what do you do? Most of you met these people at a bar, a restaurant, a sporting event. It may be a friend or a family member. We still treat it like a business. So who are you? What do you do? What are your goals? That's it. You cover that with 1 slide. Step 2 is, what's in it for us? Why are we raising private money instead of getting a loan from a bank? What's in it for us? And that's when you start to explain all the benefits. Number 3 is, what's in it for you, the private money lender? Why should they lend us their hard-earned dollars? You want to rattle off those benefits. Each of these are just 1-page slides. That's it. And then step 4 is the call to action. Hey, so that's just a very high-level overview of who I am and what I do, what's in it for me and what's in it for you. And if you want to know more, cool. And if not, no pressure. That's how I talk. And that is exactly how I talk to my private money lenders. I don't care if they're investment bankers from Wall Street or my next door neighbor. I'm going to just stay true to who I am. And again, most of the time they're going to say, oh, that's so cool. Tell me more. Because you didn't overwhelm them. You kept it very high level. You didn't get into the weeds. So then what you do is you say, okay, cool. I'm going to give you a call back in the next 3 to 5 days and we'll figure out where we go from there. So that's step 3. All right. So now we're at step 4. Step 4 is our list of frequently asked questions. I have a 6-page list of frequently asked questions, which I've compiled over the last 14 years. These are questions I've received from every prospective private money lenders, new ones, and hedge fund managers and investment bankers from Wall Street. It covers it all. For example, the top 3 most frequently asked questions are, number 1, Amy, how are you going to structure the contracts for our agreement? Number 2, what if you don't make money on your deal? What happens to my investment? Do you guarantee a return? And number 3, why don't you just go get a loan from a bank? It's half the interest. Why are you paying me double what a bank would pay me? So I take my 6-page list of frequently asked questions after I've taken them through the general private money presentation. I give my private money lender a call and then again, rinse and repeat. So I wanted to circle back and say, thank you for your time. Do you have any follow-up questions? If you want to know more, what I'll do is I'll email you my 6-page list of frequently asked questions. And if you don't, no problem. That's cool too. And I remain silent. They all say, oh, a 6-page list of FAQs, send it over. So that's step 4 of my trust letter. I email them. We don't need a Zoom meeting for this. My 6-page list of FAQs. Now we're on to step 5. Step 5 is where so much of the fear lives within us investors and the private money lenders, because they want to know, how are you going to protect, secure, and ensure my investment? Do you guarantee a return? What is my lawyer going to say? What are my sources of funding? What are the terms of our agreement? Is it a 1-year contract or a 5-year contract? You're offering me 12%. I want 14%. You're not offering me points. I want points. I'm in second lien and not first. Why? So we really have to be confident and understand legally what we are allowed to do, but also what we are allowed to say. I over disclaim from day one. There's a balance. We don't want to scare our private money lenders. There is a time and a place when we say, hey, private money lender, I can't guarantee you squat. I don't say squat. I say, I can't guarantee you anything. Worst case scenario, you have to be okay never seeing your $100,000 again. However, the probability of that happening is not likely for all of these reasons. And all of these reasons are the different steps in the trust ladder that you are educating them on. Who you are, what you do, your target market, your buying criteria, your underwriting process, your power team. We still haven't talked numbers, right? So you're just giving them an example of what your contracts look like. Do I use a promissory note? Do I use a personal guarantee? Do I record a mortgage or deed of trust? Am I using a joint venture agreement? Am I creating a multi-member LLC? Am I raising money in a debt position or an equity position? There are so many ways that we can structure these deals. We always want to over disclaim, hey, always invest at your own risk. I am not a real estate attorney. I am not a CPA, and I'm not a financial advisor. I'm telling you this, but I'm also telling them this, right? I will more than happy share with you the contracts my lawyers have already reviewed, which I use in my business every day. And if you want your lawyers to review them as well, I have set a limit of up to $300 where I will cover your legal fees to have your own lawyer review the contracts I've already prepared. So the contractual piece does another amazing job of building confidence in you as an investor when you're talking to a prospective private money lender, when you know what to say and what not to say. This step turns your private money lenders from thinking, I really hope I'm safe, to understanding and having clarity on how you are going to protect, secure, and ensure their investment. Now, step 6 of my trust ladder is going through the numbers. This is where you will introduce them to your deal analyzer, regardless of what your investment strategy is. Now you've taken the time to build rapport and trust over the first 5 steps. Now we talk numbers. Hey, private money lender, here's an example of how I underwrite deals. Notice every single cost variable I've taken into consideration, including my projected, not guaranteed, profit. Yes, I show them that. And no, not once over the course of 14 years have they been like, Amy, you're going to make 50 G's, 75 G's, 20 G's. I want more than what you're offering. And if they do, guess what? That's not my standard process, right? So there are ways and scripts that I can give you to address those objections as they arise. The deal analyzer is very important because you have to understand how you analyze deals like the back of your hand. If your private money lender senses any sort of timidness or uncertainty in your voice, especially when you're going through your deal analyzer, if there's one question where you hesitate, stutter, or say, I don't know, you have lost that person as a prospective private money lender. What do you mean you don't know? Like, you're asking me to lend you $100,000 and you don't know where your holding costs come from? You don't know what your financing costs look like? Or you missed the warranty or staging cost of your renovation, for example, if you're flipping houses. So what does your detailed deal analyzer look like? This is a massive credibility piece, and it's normally on average, not always, sometimes it's less and sometimes it's more, normally on the 6th touch point, so the 6-step trust ladder, where you will get some sort of a verbal commitment. Yeah, you know what, this sounds cool. I think I want to invest $50,000. Now what? Right? They're not going to throw their money at you. They're not going to process the the wire, but you got the verbal commitment. But even if you have a deal, you continue taking them through the rest of the credibility pieces in your business. You don't just stop. And then there's a whole other video I'll share with you later on what your nurture sequence and follow-up system looks like once you get a private money lender to actually initiate a wire. If you guys are interested in knowing exactly what that follow-up system and nurture sequence looks like, then comment the word nurture below so that I know exactly how many of you want this training, and I'll start planning a video for you in the near future. That's it, folks. Quick recap. Step 1 is my 4-second power pitch. Step 2 is where you call them and book the Zoom. For step 3 is where you cover the general private money presentation before you move on to step 4, which is a 6-page list of frequently asked questions. Step 5, the most important and concerning part, is contracts. What do those deals look like? How do you structure them? What terms do you offer? And then step 6 is where we finally go to the numbers, your underwriting process via the deal analyzer. Again, most investors go straight to the number. They don't have a trust and rapport process, a 6-step ladder in place. Trust in the system and surrender to the process. There is a right and a wrong way to build rapport and trust with prospective private money lenders. Don't think, just do. Believe in yourselves and you will do great things. For those of you who want more help specifically with the 4-second power pitch and understanding how you can customize that, I've put together a free training just for you. Click on the link below to access your free training. And if this video was helpful, which I know it was, then click the subscribe button below and I'll see you in the next video.